Says, I got a good job. I make very, very good money. And she says, the only thing I need now is a man. It's like, yo, it's like, who wants you? Who wants you? You're right. Like, once you have achieved these things, you have unfortunately disqualified yourself.
Ooh.
Wow, I've never been so happy to be disqualified for something in my life. And seeing as this applies to me since I'm a millionaire, I'm a lawyer, and I have a very successful podcast with CNN, I figured I'd respond. His whole demeanor is, let me reject you before you reject me. And what am I disqualified from exactly? From dating men like you? That's like telling me that I'm disqualified from having a lobotomy. Men like this are threatened by women because they're in constant competition with women. Instead of looking for a partner to build an empire with, they're too busy dragging women down to their level. And it's no surprise that weak men who have nothing else to offer try to use money to control women. Until women have full body autonomy, men should not have access to microphones.
She felt attacked by what he said. By the way, congratulations on your financial success. I hope you're achieving in other dimensions of life. I wanted to take a minute or so to respond to what she just said, but I'm not going to waste time. Instead, I will let this man from the DMC Daily respond to her.
Do you know why men don't care about the money? It's just because we don't get to spend it. So that's a good tip. Because we don't get to spend the money, so we wouldn't care about how much you earn. Women use how much they earn as a selling factor to shit on men, basically. Yeah. When we earn it, from the moment that a man makes money and you start to meet him, you're directly in a beneficiary of that. The moment he starts taking you out and doing things, you're already spent. Women will be making six figures and how they say it, but I can't find no man. It's because you lead with the six figures as if it's supposed to make men be like, oh, we want you, but that's not. We want you to get in the kitchen and make a sound.
In addition to what he just said, that six figure is what gives you the bad attitude that you have that most of the men find to be unattractive.
But a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home.
Kind of these independent career boss chicks, however dope that you all may be, but the personality that it takes for you to be that from, you know, going into work and doing your thing perspective, if you are unable to turn off that switch and then go back into the household with that same shit, which I will admit is a tough thing to do. But for those of you that don't master it, this is how you get these men on the couch that just become corpses of their former selves and zombies of where they used to be. You know what I'm saying? There's really not much things in this world today.
And also you stop being feminine to some extent, because for you to get to a certain level, you had to go through so much, you had to sacrifice so much. Now that you become successful and ruthless at the same time, you are that unattractive.
In heterosexual marriages where women out-earn their husbands, couples report being less satisfied with their marriage and are more likely to divorce. However, in more optimistic news, a 2017 study found that marriages with breadwinning women did not experience instability when those wives felt that their husbands were providing high levels of instrumental support. That is, when those women felt that their partners shared in domestic responsibilities like cooking and cleaning and child or elder care, marital satisfaction and stability remained. This tracks with findings that a more equitable distribution of household labor is associated with higher relationship satisfaction and higher rates of sexual satisfaction in heterosexual relationships. That said, even when women out-earn their partners in heterosexual relationships, they still generally find themselves tasked with a greater share of household responsibilities as well. Now, given that higher socioeconomic status is typically associated with happier marriages and less chance of divorce, and the fact that as women gain status, they report greater well-being and relationship satisfaction up until the point that their status surpasses their partners. This data suggests that this relationship dissatisfaction and marital instability experienced by women who make more than their partners in heterosexual relationships has more to do with stereotypical gender norms and an inequitable division of unpaid household labor than it does with women's economic empowerment.
For those men that are married to women that are earning more than you, let me know in the comment section, and what adjustments did you have to make for you to be able to work things out, and what other sacrifices have you made to this date for your relationship to continue growing? Let me know in the comment section.
This work, I make $185,000 a year. I'm not bragging, I don't. I have a very nice place. I live in Buckhead. I have 2 vehicles, a G-Wagon and a coupe, and I want a GT43 next, okay? I take care of myself. No man has done this for me. And I'm not saying that a woman should have to do, be strong like me, but this is the life that I've been given, is the life of strength, right? So I've done this on my own. It would be nice to have a guy to come in and say, hey, babe, I'm going to take care of that or whatever. You make $50K, use your $50K to pay the rent, the car note, because my $185K is for the clothes, the shoes, the goddamn lifestyle, the traveling, every damn thing we do. When we're going to go buy a beach, we want to go buy some, we want to go buy a golf set, whatever you want to do, my money going to go for it. I got it all. We good. You understand? And that's the effort, what I mean. Like, so yeah, he may not make as much as me, but his contributions are so much more valuable. So I got him on every level. You know, a man that come home from work, been working 12 hours or 8 hours or whatever, and come home and see 4 dishes and sink and wash them. I could have washed them, but he just, I'm gonna go to the bat for him, whatever this man needs. And I'm highly OCD. So it ain't gonna, but if he see literally 4 dishes in the sink, he finna wash them as soon as he get in from work. Then I didn't have, and I'm like, that's a nice thing, right?
She's been given a life of strength, so it's gonna be hard to find a man to settle with unless maybe that man is weak. Strength with weakness, not strength with strength. It can't work. So strength with weakness. So if she's a strong one, she has to find the weaker partner.
It doesn't mean you can't be high achieving. Just do not bring that energy into your relationship. Keep that part of you separate. So when I was talking to you guys, when I'm coaching high-powered women, when I'm leading, when I'm running my intensives, I can be in my alpha female. But when I'm with my husband, I have different energy. Okay? It's completely different energy because I know that I'm going to trigger the wrong part of his brain by doing that. And that I'm not about to kill our juicy polarity by being dumb in how I use my energy.
A lot of women will say that a man is insecure for not wanting to date a woman that's above him. It's not about insecurities, it's what does that woman want for the long term. It's not a man that's below her, plain and simple. It's not insecure, it's just about knowing where you fit into the puzzle. If I don't fit correctly into this puzzle, why am I going to create problems for myself in the future? Because I'm someone that thinks long term, especially when it comes to relationships. What are we going to be like 5 years from now? Have we got the correct principles in place that's going to make me and you a successful relationship? If the answer is no, that's not me being insecure, it's about me thinking ahead. You might, because men have to live in a fact-based reality. Women are afforded the luxury of living in a fairy tale. You can do that because someone's going to come and cater towards you. As a man, if you're not panned, nobody's looking after you. And no one cares for you. As a woman, all you got to do is have a tonton and you're good. Someone's going to come and look after you. That's the difference. So like, we having to live in this fact-based reality means that we're not afforded the same luxuries as women are. So it's nice that, you know, we should like talk and you should tell me your troubles and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, what does that do for the situation?
My last videos have sparked some interesting discussion about different types of marriage dynamics and what works and what doesn't. And so one of the more common ones that was asked about was a situation where a woman earns more money than the man and what that situation looks like. So I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think that marriages where women earn more than men or where men don't work.
Question is, with the increased number of women wanting to earn more, who's going to marry them?
Don't work. Number 1 is, as I mentioned in my last video, men need to feel valued. And I think that when women earn more than men, it has a tendency to emasculate men. I think that they are ingrained within the society to think, I have to earn, I have to provide, right? Men are hunters and gatherers and they're supposed to provide. And I think that it kind of upsets the natural balance for the woman to be carrying that weight, because sorry to say this, but a lot of women who work also carry a lot of weight in the home. So I think that adds to it. So even regardless of whether or not you have kids, I think a woman carrying more of the financial weight not only tends to emasculate the man, but also can cause more resentment to build in a woman that would build in a man in the reverse situation where the man is the higher income earner. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that the men in these situations that are married to high-powered women, a lot of times, and the ones that I've seen fail, the men tend to be very, for lack of a better word, not motivated. They tend to be, they might be educated, but they don't tend to work very hard. They don't really seem to have a passion for anything. They tend to be lazy, and they tend to kind of rely on the woman to run the household. I mean, she does the bills, she does the finances, she takes care of the kids if there are any. She kind of is the CEO of the household. They just don't seem to really contribute much. It's the opposite of a traditional stay-at-home mom dynamic where the mom is running the household and the husband is working every day and paying for the expenses. The woman in that situation tends to do it all. And so I just just think that over time it just weighs on her and she's just like, I'm out of here, or the man will cheat, as in my last video. And then finally, what's really interesting about these divorces is they tend to be the cheapest. Women who are the breadwinners, they're protecting their money. I mean, men do too, but not like the women do. And they tend to really push their husbands behind the scenes to settle. They tend to have to pay the entire bill, and they don't want to pay that bill. So they keep the process really streamlined and quiet. So.
Oh man, I hope you've learned a lot. Subscribe to the channel and thumbs up on the video. I'll see you in the next one.